let's look at the mobilization of the wrist. As a physiological movement we have dorsiflexion, the palmar flexion, radial adduction, ulnar adduction, we have circumduction to one side and to the other, and we have the supination and pronation. The movement is created by many of little joints from the carpal part, the central part of the hand, and from radial and ulnar bone here from the wrist. So it's a very complex biomechanic here. To mobilize a stiff hand, you easily start with some regional techniques, non-specific techniques, just moving like this. It's anterior, posterior, or you could say it's a dorsipalmar direction. I just move between radius and carpal bones, radius and ulnar, ulnar and carpal bones. It looks like a mobilizing massage technique. So I move from this part, the proximal part of the joint, to the central part and to the distal part here on the metacarpus. Very often you already mobilize and use the joint by doing like this. To loosen a stiff wrist, it's always helpful you do traction. You can do it up like this, or you do it as well like this. So I'm pulling in this direction now and I hold it. If it is more the radial part, you can grasp as well like this. So I'm grasping here at the metacarpal bones 2 and 3, and I'm pulling, so I have more stretch on this side, or I do it on the other side, the outer side. These are regional, non-specific but very helpful techniques. Now for dorsiflexion, going up here, the joints have to move down and others have to move up, so I do this like this, or I can hold it like this too. This hand is holding, this one is moving now. I'm moving in this plane. We do the same techniques for improving flexion. For the radial and ulnar adduction, for this movement, you can hold like this and now you move like this. I'm moving in this plane. I just stretch these little joints . And if I have already a little bit of radial adduction like this, I can do it here. Now I have to adapt. The bones look like this and my movement has to be like this. A non-specific but very positive movement is this one. I hold the wrist here and then I'm just turning. To mobilize full flexion, it's necessary that you stretch well the extensors. So we have this extension movement. I flex the hand as much as possible. I turn it into full pronation, and then we come and extend it in the elbow. So I create a full stretch for the short and long extensors of wrist and hand. We can stretch it. I hold it in for a minute or two. I do that a few times so it will help that we gain more flexion. Full extension needs as well the stretch of the flexors. So I bring the hand into full extension, the fingers, I hold it, and now I come up. I will be able to create a good stretch here on the flexors. I can hold them as well like this, and now I'm stretching. And we hold it for half a minute or a minute. Repeat as much as it is necessary.